handsome and he's smarter than me.
Yeah, yeah, close enough.
It was something like that. I can't remember, man. You give me all these lines to say. I'm not an actor.
There you go. But we were just discussing off cast there whether or not Parasite would be banned after that performance, and he did have quite the performance in that last game. Not going to be seeing him this time, along with Tremble, Cthulhu, and Silhouette. So 3 other heroes that received some pretty large buffs in this latest patch.
Yeah, and I think I do like to see that in a sense because obviously at least the meta game is somewhat changing because some heroes are not being banned, so it leaves them open for other interpretations in terms of sort of laning as well as sort of picking them up in general. But one hero that hasn't really been addressed that much is Puppet Master, though. I think the last cast we had last week, actually, the Puppet Master was still being used quite a bit, even after the nerfs. Actually, I don't know if whether after a week people have been screaming and saying actually Puppet Master isn't that good after all. But in the end, we are seeing somewhat of a different lineup though. But yeah, like the new heroes that have been buffed that are getting banned out quite fervently, actually, like the Silhouette, like the Tremble, like the Cthulhu and the Parasite. Actually, kind of bans we would have never seen before, actually, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah, always fun to see those indeed. And I don't know, man. I kind of want to see a Tremble or a Silhouette or even a Cthulhu in the competitive play. Like, I don't know. I just haven't gotten my fill, at least of the Silhouette and the Tremble. I mean, last week we did get to see we got to see him being played by Marcus Moy. Played the Silhouette. Did he play it twice?
Yeah, he played it once and they got banned because he got blocked off.
Right, that's right.
That's probably why they started banning it. But yeah, I don't know though. I think it could at the same time be a little bit of an overreaction. Like, oh, these heroes are new. We haven't really played against them, so let's just ban them out. So I mean, that could obviously change in terms of Console Season 3 as well. So
Cthulhu
I guess we'll have to see.
Is pretty good. I don't think it's an overreaction right there. I have not been playing a ton of TMM lately, but it seems like every TMM match that I do have, there's a Cthulhu and I want to kill myself. So.
But at the same time, though, I mean, like, if these heroes are so strong, then Legion should really be abusing them. I mean, we saw in the last, in the Carnage of Caldevar, if your Legion, like, the kind of basic line was don't ban out Kronos or Puppet Master, because if the Hellborn don't ban out, then you can pick it up. And so, I mean, following the same lines, then you should, if you think Silhouette and, say, Cthulhu are the top 2, then the Legion should not be banning Cthulhu or Silhouette, yet they still end up banning the Tremble and the Cthulhu. So really, if you're Legion, you really do need to try and capitalize on the first pick, because it makes a big deal. Like, there's a reason why your first pick, there's an advantage in that. Obviously, Hellborn have the advantage in terms of location and Conga, obviously. So you need to, like, if you want to be a top team, you need to utilize every little advantage you get in terms of what side you're on, and try and use it and abuse it, honestly, because that's the only way you're going to win.
There you go. Well, I'm seeing a little bit of a similarity. Magmus already being picked up here by the Tyrants once more, while Bubbles is being picked up here for the guys on Donkey Kong. They're going to be able to squeak through a Torturer, though, the most picked hero of Carnage and Caldevar Cycle 2. Going to be making his way in right now, and definitely a hero that has done pretty well in a couple different places. But I believe the stats said that he actually does the best in the long lane as well as the dual lane mid, something along those lines. And a Master of Arms. Definitely going to be a little bit unusual. We haven't seen much MOA of Arms recently. And Minimaggie, why don't you take us through that stat there that Quincy's dropped?
So yeah, it's saying, talking about the Magmus Engineer combination, and it's obviously quite common, but Mag goes from 61% to 64 with Engineer, and they normally run it in the mid lane, which does make sense though, because I mean, Engineer, the hero that doesn't obviously have the great boxing potential, he needs that kind of killing lane. So having him in the middle lane with like a mid initiator like Magmus is the perfect combination. They're kind of like best friends, really. Like, in terms if they were growing up, they would just be best friends, wouldn't they? Let's be honest. Like,
I don't know, man. I really enjoy playing both of those heroes. Engineer is my #1 favorite hero. So I'm glad.
It's just because he's got the biggest beard. That's why. Like, he's got a massive beard.
He's got a ridiculous beard. A ridiculous beard. Like, he's up there along with Master of Arms, Hammerstorm. There's a couple other ones.
The Nords. All the other dwarfs are Nordic gods, aren't they? All the crazy beard ones, pretty much. But yeah, we see the ban coming out on Flux, which obviously makes sense. They have a lot of AoE synergy actually here on the Hellborn side. Magma's Engineer, Kraken, and Flux would be the perfect hero just to all synergize that together. Whereas Legion actually kind of have more of a, in terms of laning and sort of ganking potential with the Torture, with the Bowers and the Master of Arms. So, I mean, they really do need to take an advantage on the laning phase. We talked about like the way you draft and the way you pick your heroes, you have to play to their strengths. And even if that means in sort of the laning phase you need to have an advantage, then you need to have that advantage before the team fight starts to happen. Because I mean, if Hellborn and Legion come out, even say in the laning phase, when it comes to the mid game and team fights start to happen, this AoE synergies team is just going to crush in terms of the Hellborn side. So Legion do really need to take the advantage in the laning phase, which they did actually in game 1. So hopefully we'll see it here in game 2 as well if they are going to take this game.
Yeah, the other options there could be something like picking up heroes that are natural shrunken head carriers as one of their early on items. Something like maybe that Corrupted Disciple. So that one might be able to do a little bit of battle inside of the Wombo combo, but of course you've got to worry about things like the Perplex from Engineer's Energy Field, and of course the hard stun through the Shrunken Head from Kraken. Final bans going to be coming out here are Rhapsody, Pestilence, Sir Bensington, and Wretched Hag. So definitely some strong heroes right there. 3 heroes that you likely see as kind of initiator types. And, well, Quincy's got another stat here. MOA of Arms talking about him. And, wow, he split pretty well even between his roles. And Puppet Master, your favorite hero.
Oh man, this hero sucks. Like, why are they picking him? I don't get it. Like I said, I didn't really like him before when he wasn't even nerfed. Now he's nerfed. We're seeing more of him. It almost feels like than we did before. But we are going to see him here again. And most likely going to be played in the carry role because they've most likely got their 2 supports in terms of Master Arms and Torturer. But going back to the stat though of Master of Arms though, I was going to say I think I like Master of Arms mostly on support, but Quincy making the stat that he lost almost all of his games on support. Maybe not the best hero on support, but I think he works quite well in terms of support because the only thing that really benefits in terms of carry is his passive and his E, whereas all the other sort of spells really does sort of synergize quite well as him as on support. But
yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I don't really like him as a carry so much. I like him more in the support, but one of the other issues, and I'd love to see if Quincy's actually got the stat on this, I feel like Master of Arms is almost always played in that secondary support role, in the 4 position. So maybe that actually has to deal with that hero being used in compositions with dual support rather than in jungle compositions. I can not think of a time in the last year that I remember seeing a Master of Arms as a 5 support, a solo support with a jungle.
Yeah.
It's just not something that I recall happening.
Yeah. That is true, actually. But at the same time, I think having him as a secondary support can work quite well, though, because he can actually farm up really, really well with his W, the goo or whatever. We used to run it quite a bit in instant reflex. Like you'd have him almost like as your sort of second carry because you can get a lot of farm, at least like 350 into the jungle. But I know what you're saying, though. He can work quite well in the single support or like the main support. But at the same time, his laning potential compared to like a Luna or a Torturer isn't the greatest, and if you're running him as a 5 support, then the main important thing is the laning phase. And we talked about in the last game how we want the sort of secondary support to really be something different, like the Riftwalker, like the Nymphora or Pearl, or even Martyr, for example. Like something that offers a little bit more than just a laning support. I mean, obviously you do want maybe 2 strong laning supports if you're going to run a tri-lane, but if you're going to run, say, 2 dual lanes, one in the mid lane, one in the short lane, then your 4 support, or the Pearl or the Riftwalker, can work quite well just as a boxing support in the short lane part. But maybe they are going to run a tri-lane, which is most likely what they're going to do here, because most likely they've got 2 solos in terms of Pumpmaster and Bowels and the Ravener, just as they initiate in the tri-lane. But in terms of Hellborn, though, they've picked up the Plague Rider already, actually, so a lot of AoE synergy coming out. They're most likely going to pick another one. Chronos, okay, we haven't seen this hero after the changes obviously in the balance, so I'd like to see how he sort of works. Actually, I think the hero is still kind of good, but at the same time the nerfs did hit him pretty hard, so we'll have to see it in the game.
Absolutely did. And so this is definitely some interesting ones right here. I gotta say, the Legion team feels like a throwback to 8, 9, 10 months ago. talking about some of the earlier matches where Lions Esports Club was really challenging Stay Green for the crown there in Han Tour Season 2 when we did first see Ravener coming in. I mean, this is an identical lineup to what you might expect to see. Seal Kid on the Torture, Hanskin on the Master of Arms, and of course Super KGE on the Ravener, Jonas and Fan on a Bubbles. Like, this could very well be an old Lions or even BMG lineup, so could be seeing something along those lines coming out from them. But
well, we saw in game one that so I was saying in game one we saw like them playing like BMG. There's so much action, so much, so why not, follow a BMG lineup? But yeah, going back to the part about Hellborn, if you want to go through the lineup, Beef.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Magnus, the Kraken, the Engineer. The Wombo combo between those three heroes is fantastic. You add on top of that the lockdown potential, that Chronosphere, and of course the massive amounts of chaotic damage that Tomas 666's Plague Rider is going to bring. It's going to be extremely strong. But look at this. It's going to be a dual lane Plague Rider and Kraken.
Okay, this is something a little bit new. Maybe they just don't feel comfortable going against the Trident. Actually, I really do like this draft coming out from Hellborn. I mean, we saw in game one their tri lane when they faced against the quote unquote Trident versus pseudo Trident, they did lose when in pretty sense they probably shouldn't have, in my opinion. So maybe they just don't feel comfortable going against a tri lane versus a tri lane. So they are end up going to go and dodge it, which I think is maybe the right play to make. If you don't feel comfortable going head to head against a tri-lane, then just don't do it. The quickest way to lose is just going against a tri-lane and losing quite substantially, like we saw in game one. So dodging with a dual lane, long lane with the player can work quite well. And at the same time, if the dual sports do end up rotating bottom, they can't really do too much because player is going to pull the wave back so far, but he's going to run middle, top. Where's he going? Like, he should stay bottom, in my opinion. It would make a lot more sense, honestly. Maybe he's just denying one creep and helping Kraken get out the lane, but he's just going to be going against a dual lane versus a tri-lane, which is just going to work terribly wrong. And actually, look at Master of, he's already pulling the wave, actually, which I do like to see, but he's missed one creep already. That's going to be a little bit of a shame, because that's going to screw up his pulling phase quite a bit, but we'll see. He should pull him to the hard camp, actually, and farm the hard camp. That's what we do sometimes on instant reflex. It works quite well, but he just looks like he's going to try and get lane control instead.
Yeah, gonna really want Ravener to actually tank these with the shield, and he's gonna drag him in. No, don't drag him into the tower. He's taking way too much damage. He needs to let Ravener have these creeps, and certainly not doing that the most effectively.
This Hellborn tri-lane is so weak. First of all, you got a Plague Rider, which does honestly nothing until you get level 2, level 3, so because you already spec the deny. And Kronos, he used to be quite a strong laner in the tri-lane because of his high base and attack damage, but that's obviously been nerfed now. And Engineer, a strong hero in a tri-lane, but he's got nothing to set up his stun. So this tri-lane for Hellborn is going to work so badly, in my opinion. And they've already lost lane control, and so this tri-lane is looking so bad. Like, already the favour is in Legion at the moment.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those situations where you don't even want to pull as well. If there's neutral creeps being added into the situation, if you're getting out of the actual lane, you just become so vulnerable to Torture, Master of Arms, and Ravener. The triple stun and long duration stunt, especially as you get a couple more points in that, and they're actually going to open up with a charge shot into the ball lightning. Chain reaction going to be coming in as well, and 2 more autos here onto the Plague Rider is going to be plenty. This is a dead Plague Rider. No way for him to actually escape. Waste the health potion. Disagree with that. And here comes the charge shot number 2. Ravener with the ball lightning. Chain reaction is there. And Engineer going to be attacked by the creeps. Double tap. First blood right there for the guys on Donkey Kong. And that was extremely questionable from our Hellborn team.
Yeah, but like I said, like when you're going against a tri-lane with such a weak tri-lane as Hellborn have, like there's almost nothing you can do because they just beat you in terms of hero composition in the tri-lane. So there's no way you're really gonna be able to really face it unless Legion completely misplay. And I mean, these guys aren't like complete noobs. Like, you're not gonna see them make complete misplays. So they have to really shape their lanes more favorably. And so I think they should just honestly send Plague Rider down bottom and leave Kronos up here just to face the tri-lane, maybe put the Engineer mid as well, try and help out Magnus as much as possible.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you because they're coming back up here in the top lane. Unless they're able to get a successful pull off a safe pull, which is going to be exceedingly difficult, as already you see Master of Arms and Torture rotating their way over. They're going to make sure to actually block the stack, making sure that there's not going to be a triple there. And they've got the ward on Plague Rider and Engineer. They see him. They can kill him anytime they actually want to. Anyway, getting away from the top lane, the tri-lane situation, bottom lane, Puppet sitting on 16-7 CS, as you're looking at 6-0 for the Kraken. So this is going well for Donkey Kong as well. I mean, Kraken not being able to get the farm despite the early deny coming in from Flagraider.
Yeah, I mean, and this is one thing that one aspect of Puppet Master that didn't really get nerfed is his laning phase. His laning phase is still strong. I mean, they did nerf his, whiplash by a teeny bit, but in terms of laning phase, that's not going to be the biggest impact in my opinion. It gets to the mid game to late game where you really see Puppet Master kind of weak, in my opinion. So Kraken is definitely going to have a hard time playing against a Puppet Master because first of all, he's melee versus a range, so range would definitely take the advantage. But Puppet Master itself is just such a strong laner. Like the amount of harass you can put in with the whiplash and even more attacks with the Puppet show. I mean, Kraken's just going to have absolute suffer down here.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at the damage chart here. 31% of the damage done so far in this game is by Puppet Master, and if you actually look at these bars compared to Legion and Hellborn, it's pretty absurd. I mean, a vast majority of the damage in this game being done to the tune of about 70-30. It looks like, if my math's not too bad, maybe even a little bit more, 75-25-ish. But the Legion team definitely doing pretty well. Middle lane, Bubbles sitting on an invisibility rune in his bottle. Picked that up at 2 minutes, and he's at 19-2 CS right now as opposed to the 11-2 of Magnus. So currently Donkey Kong winning all 3 lanes, and the Tyrants, they're going to need to make something happen here, or they could very well be going home with a silver placement here in the Han Tour qualifiers. And, well, talking about that middle lane, there's a stat for it.
Yeah, like the Magnus Bubbles matchup, obviously Quintessence very even in the 6th game they did see against each other. They won 3 each, and but at the same time the Magnus was 1v2 against the Bubbles actually, which does make sense because Magnus, although a strong hero and can work 1v1, he really does need to be in that melee versus melee matchup. Otherwise, Bubbles is most likely going to take the advantage, which we see actually here in this game already. 300 GPM for the Bubbles and only 200 for the Magnus. Which is a little bit of a suffer. And at the same time, he's already lost bottle control because Bubbles already picked up the first rune with the Invis. So that's going to play a little bit of an impact actually into how this game rolls. Actually, I like to see him hold on to that Invis, try and get level 6, maybe bring a TP and gank maybe the top lane or even bottom lane. Preferably the top lane because Engineer and Playground are such easy targets to kill. I mean, Kraken, he's having a hard time anyway, so there's no need to really help that lane. So I think top lane could probably be the best use of his Invis in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, but Kraken in the bottom lane going to be able to snag another rune. There's a double damage that Bubbles will have the opportunity to bottle up. Might go for a kill on the Bubbles, but he missed the silence.
No, he did hit the silence.
Did he?
Yeah, he's only got level 1 and it did a tiny bit of damage, but yeah, it did hit the silence. He's got level 1 take cover, which in my opinion I don't really like. I mean, he's not going to really be able to get the take cover off in time before Magnus stuns him because you have to time the take cover almost perfectly because it's only 0.5 of a second. And adding that extra bit of damage when you're in a 1v1 lineup, I mean, I think it's going to take 2 or 3 hits for him to take down this Magnus, and having an extra point in Song of the Sea would most likely have brought him down. He might still fall, but in my opinion I think the skill build should have been 3 in Shell Stuff and 2 in Song of the Sea because I mean you only really expect take cover in a 1v1 matchup where it's something you can continually block, like if you're 1v1 against a Nomad or even like a Playgrider for example, but taking 1 point and take cover is not really needed if you're not in the suicide lane 1v1. So in my opinion that's a little bit of a misplay. And I think it could have maybe more utilised the Song of the Sea.
Yep. I mean, the things that he's actually going to be realistically taking cover, maybe an Engineer Keg, maybe maybe the Torrent from Kraken, but
that's not going to be in the laning phase really. I mean, the only thing that you might see in the laning phase is probably Engineer coming in, but if at the same time you're not going to be able to dodge it because Magnus is going to follow up with a stun, and you're not going to have time for a take cover in the time that Engineer chucks out a Keg. So I would have liked to see maybe the dual Song of the Sea. One interesting point I'd like to make note actually is Torturous skill build. He hasn't actually leveled up Impalement, and in this instance I actually really do prefer this skill build. I mean, you see the instant Impalement leveled up, and I've seen other casters always going about the Impalement, but when you're going against a tri-lane, the Impalement does actually so little damage that it's not even preferable to go because it's so easily split by creeps and other than the other 3 heroes, that specking the Agonizing Bond is the way to do it, and at the same time it can set up other stuns because it's control a minute if you can play it correctly. So I like the build coming out from Torture in this instance as well.
Well, looks like you and Kakashi are on the same page there. And we'll see if he's going to be able to get any
top.
more kills. Yeah, Mag, he's walking right by a ward, though. Like, that's the major issue here. And the Legion team already in rotation to actually try to take him down. And it looks like the Legion team is probably aware that there is a ward here. Because the Helmborn team did place it a little bit later on. But here comes Bubbles. He's coming up top with 200 mana. And Engineer is going to be getting the counter ward off. But here comes the Shelter.
He's no mana.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana to actually go for the kelp field. So
that's so unfortunate. I mean, that's one, like, when it comes to like the top tiers, you almost never see them make misplays, because with that one misplay, that makes a big difference, honestly, because now Magnus is sitting back farming mid, getting some kind of a recovery from, and at the same time, that's most likely a guaranteed kill if he plays that correctly. He has invis, that's a secure kill, and miss that one kill can definitely be the difference between, you know, this Hellborn side winning the tri lane and not. Hopefully it won't make the biggest of difference, but yeah, I mean, a few of those misplays adding up can definitely make a difference.
Certainly can. The Hellborn team being given maybe a little bit more space now, but they're certainly not in great shape up here. If you consider the two farmers as, oh, big chain reaction. The ball lightning gonna hit too, and here comes the lightning strikes from Ravener's a big weapon. Gonna be able to take down a second hero, and will they get Engineer? No, chain reaction is in fact going to miss. So
bottom lane.
That was nice. That was nice, but yeah,
Bottom
Puppet
lane.
should be in some trouble here. Kraken does have level 5. Going to be starting to go around the side here, baiting the Puppet Master. And here's the Magmus stun.
Charge. Nice.
And charge into the ultimate from Magmus.
Yeah.
Able to set that one up. Well done.
Yeah, that was the only way they could have killed him, because if he didn't charge there, I mean, Puppet Master would have puppet showed him, and the eruption wouldn't have gone off, and so Puppet Master could most likely have just walked away. So good coordination there coming out from the Kraken and the Magmus, actually, and that's a good kill, honestly, because when you're going against a tri-lane, you can almost be sure that there's no walls going to be on the other lane. So, you know, setting up a kill in the bottom lane is really well played coming out from the Magnus, and, you know, getting his team a little bit further ahead, which, you know, they're definitely needed because they are losing at the moment in terms of gold and XP. It looks like Kronos is going to go mid. I don't know if Magnus is going to rotate top, but I mean, I think at the moment the rotations come out far too late for it to make a difference, because now Bubbles is most likely going to crush Kronos in the middle lane, and at the same time, Magnus is not going to make the biggest of impacts. He's actually going in on the Torturer here in the top lane. I don't know if Ravener is going to rotate down to try and stop this Magnus. He should. They are coming now. Can Magnus get away? Yeah, he's just about to get away in the end. Yeah, it's fast enough.
Fast enough to get away, but yeah, this Blood Rider is just not going to do a whole lot. Kraken just TP'd out
like
right
80
there.
HP.
Yeah,
he had like 80 HP.
He was very low, and up top, Magnus is pretty close in right here. Master of Arms on the front line. Bubbles going to be able to get the Shell Surf. Ball Lightning comes out, but the Engineer Keg is going to be able to avoid the chain reaction. It's not enough. Magnus is just going to sit in the steam bath until he is no longer in danger. But the 3-man roam coming in. That was actually the 4-man roam. They trade 1 for 1 as one of the Bearded Brothers goes down on each side.
In. Oh, that was just about missed the Shell Surf on Magnus. Actually, you might be in trouble. Kraken's coming over as well. I don't know if they can really catch him. No, it's a little bit of wasted TP coming up from Kraken. Oh, they might be able to catch his Torturer.
Yeah, they'll be able to catch his Torturer for sure. Gonna need the body blocks here. And a really unnecessary ultimate from Kraken. But
secure kill, man. Secure the kill. It's fine. It's all good.
Red is dead.
Secure kill. Yeah, exactly. And I do like the rotation coming out from Kraken. I mean, like, he was so close to dying to Puppet Master, and maybe he just feels unsafe to lane against that. I mean, he's not going to get much in terms of CS, so, you know, you try and be useful in other lanes. So, the good play coming out from him. The only problem here is the top lane. I'd really like to see Hellborn just try and make some kind of rotation. Maybe that's going to come when Kronos gets level 6. It's going to be like almost guaranteed kill. But if they can get almost all 5 of them, just try and secure this top lane. Because, like, if you're you know losing your safe lane, that's a lane that you should not be losing. So you need to put as much effort as you can to try and secure that lane. Actually, Engineer coming in just places a ward, so that's at least something. Actually, might get caught here by the Master of Arms, but just about skirts away.
Yeah, Ravener's just a little bit too slow on that rotation a couple times now, so maybe not perfect communication coming out of the guys from Donkey Kong, although they do get a nice counter ward, and they're going to be able to get a counter ward onto the opposing team's Ward of Revelation. So,
bottom lane, Magnus going in again, actually. I think this is actually a really good play. I think he realised there's a lane ward coming out. Actually, yeah, so they're already de-warded, but Magnus is already going around the side of Puppet Master, so this could be another good kill, actually.
I feel like I've got deja vu here. Puppet is going to be falling back pretty hard.
Oh, they should. That's so frustrating because I think they dewarded the lane ward and Puppet Master expected something to happen, so he already backed off. But Magnus didn't even go the normal way. He actually wrapped around all the way into the river. So if they didn't actually deward that ward, I think Puppet Master would have stayed. So a little bit of a anti-climax there. But in other news, Abel's coming top. He does actually have an invis room. This could definitely be a big kill if they can secure something.
Mag just TP'd in as well. This is going to be 4 for the Legion, 3 for the Hellborn currently. As Kronos is still in the middle lane, does have the ult available, but no TP, and they missed the chain reactions right there. So
yeah, he went for an agonizing bonds and then went for the chain reaction, but Magnus had quick enough reactions just to fall back in the end. But I mean, they do have the factor that they have an invisible Bubbles. I don't think Magnus realised, or Hellborn realised that that Bubbles is invisible, so they can definitely take advantage of this. The invis is wearing out in 10 seconds, so they need to go fast if they can.
at the same time, they have the Helm of the Black Legion finished up here on Ravener, so they might just start sieging out this tower. Although Magnus is going to initiate. This is the TP in from Kraken right here, and he's going to show up. Bubbles is there. Kelpfield on to 3. This is the TP coming in from Kronos. This is now a 5-on-4. Puppet Master not going to be coming up just yet. The chain reaction's done. Going to be trying to give cover for Bubbles, but Bubbles is in some trouble. The auto attack's going to be enough. Yes. And it looks like the nuke coming in from Plague Rider, able to finish him off. And, whoa, Ball Lightning going to be going out. Ravener is in deep. Kraken ultimate misses completely. Ravener charged back into the tower. 5 players going to be able to finish off the Helm of the Black Legion wielding Ravener. And now an Engineer Keg misses 3 for 3 in that team fight. Puppet Master has showed up. There's the Puppet ult. And down goes Kraken as 10 players make their way into the top lane. Ends up resulting in what appeared to be a 1-for-2 exchange favoring the Hellborn side. But they also burnt a big ultimate in Kraken right there.
No, they needed to group up and get together. I said before in the draft that they have a superior team fight, and it was just if they can get away from the worst of laning phase, and they had to some degree. It didn't come up too badly. So if they can keep trying to take these team fights, actually, I think they can definitely come out ahead. The Magmus, Kraken, Engine, when Player gets level 6 as well, they have so many strong ultimates that I don't think actually the Legion can really deal with. They don't have any stronger heads at the moment, and yeah, you've got Ravener with the Helm of Black Legion, but even that's not going to be that much. We have more TVs coming in. They might even go again actually right now.
Yeah, they certainly could. Magnus is there, does have the stun available. Doesn't know who might be behind him, although he does have that lane ward, so actually he does know. There are in fact 2 supports right behind him. Don't want to go for the Ravener. If you're going to initiate here, you want to take out either the Master of Arms or the Torture, but I would not recommend initiating until this Plague Rider is actually level 6 if you're planning on going. Instead, just going to be trying to find a little bit of farm. And speaking of farm, our Kronos sitting at 207 gold per minute. It's finally finished up his treads, man, but nothing else. Like, you gotta get more farm on Kronos.
Yeah, he had a suffer lane though. Like, he was going to get to the trial, and actually they should go for this Torture. I know we have God Vision, but I mean they're so far away from the trial, and actually Torture might be in trouble. He's already cut away from his team, but he's gonna go away just through the middle lane. Actually, Kronos is pursuing him, but I think he's going back. Stun.
Big rewind.
Here comes the rewind, but yeah. Instant rewind, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's just the way they laned it. Actually, he's going in on Bubbles.
Yeah, if he chronofields, he probably
turn.
would have gotten that kill. But with the tower pounding and autos, I think he would have gotten that.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I don't know. This Kronos doesn't feel like he's doing much. I don't know if it's because of the changes to him, but he just doesn't feel like the old Kronos. I mean, like the old Kronos felt like he could do so much, and at the moment, he's just really kind of lackluster, honestly, in my opinion.
Bottom lane, Puppet Master is in a little bit of trouble. A really nice steam turret coming out. Completely blocks him. The charge not going to get the stun out. And there's the Kraken ultimate. Is going to be able to buy enough time for the Engineer to actually get away right now. Although Master of Arms is looking for one up top, though. It's actually a kill onto the Torturer. So, well done there by the Magnus and Plague Rider. Plague hits 6 off of that. Now gets his ultimate. Could actually set up a pretty good kill under the Ravener if it weren't for this pesky Bubbles. Yeah, Kronos indeed. Gonna be able to get a kill onto the Master of Arms. And Ball Lightning going out. I think they'll try to go for a kill right here. They know Bubbles is there, though, because of that Ward of Sight.
Well, another spat coming out from Quincy.
Yeah, there you go. Looks like even when he's coming out of the suicide lane, he's actually got pretty dang decent statistics. Of course, those are from Carnage and Qualifier prior to the nerf that he did receive, the multiple nerfs that he did receive a couple weeks ago now. And
the multiple needed nerfs.
I think this is the first competitive game I've seen Kronos in, because
yeah,
even in pubs, he's just completely dropped off, gone from a top picked hero to not even remotely considered, mostly as a result of the ultimate nerf. Yeah,
I mean, the laning phase and the lower base armor and the attack damage does make a big difference. I was noticing it in the laning phase. I mean, the old Kronos, you could just get away with so much stuff, but now you really are quite... actually, Magma's top lane, though, he might be in trouble.
It should be able to
a good stun. Yeah, good stun. Yeah, well played, actually.
Bubbles will pursue,
chasing,
though. And
can he catch him?
Doesn't look like
they're actually on playground top lane. TP, couldn't get it. Playground A is going to fall bottom top lane, but they need TPs. Like, they're diving so far behind the T1. If everyone has a TP, they all have TPs actually, except for Magnus. Actually, he was low on HP, so they decided just to let the playground go out. But I think if they had the TPs, they could have maybe TP'd in and just rotated. But at bottom lane, Kronos going in onto Puppetmaster.
He certainly is, and this Puppet has been in trouble quite a few times. Not a perfect placement on the Kraken ultimate. The Chronosphere is coming out in a pretty bad one, to be honest. Puppetmaster turns around and gets a kill onto the Kronos, and now Kraken running for his life. Magnus is going to be coming in here. He might be able to get the long-range stun when he does go for the cutoff right in this location, but no. Going to actually turn around and fall back. Leads to a tower kill for the Legion in the top lane, as they do get a pretty substantial 6,000 gold lead on the board. Bottom lane, though, Bubbles is in trouble.
Oh,
there's
the
take cover we were talking about. And he's able to get away.
Yeah, I think the Legion should definitely fight. They're really far ahead now. Like, when you have like this kind of lead, you need to push it, because it's so easy just to kind of, get a little bit lax in terms of your position and your communication, and it's such an easy thing to just end up losing in terms of, like, ganks here and there. And if you're ahead and if you can take team fights, then why don't you? I mean, maybe they are just scared because of the amount of AoE synergy that Hellborn have, but I mean, they are like 6,000 gold lead ahead, and they shouldn't be shy to take a fight.
Well, I mean, at the same time, though, when you're 6,000 gold ahead, that's going to be a couple of items. Like, in this case, maybe your Helm of the Black Legion and then the Bubbles Blink that he just acquired right here. That's not really going to save you if you get hit by multiple of these powerful team fight ults. Like, you still have to be a little bit wary, in my opinion.
But at the same time, those key items, though, are, I mean, they're not the keyest of items, but look, compared to Hellborn, they've just got their steam boots. Like, I mean, Magnus is so far away from Portal Key, and if you can get a good initiation, then there's no really way that Hellborn can really line up their AoE synergy. Like, you need the Portal Key on Kraken, you need the Portal Key on Magnus, and that's the thing that can join them together. I know you can have the Kronos amazing ulti, but at the same time, if that happens, then they're not going to be taking that much damage because of the nerf recently. I think with the Puppetmaster and the Bubbles combination, they can easily get a pick off before the fight even starts. And it looks like actually this Ravenor is going to go for like this carry kind of build of Ravenor. And I used to see this actually from Tree when Box used to play like carry Ravenor. Sure. I did actually like it. Actually, at the same time, they've got the initiation coming out from Bubbles, so I think this kind of carry style of Ravenor is actually the way to go, in my opinion. Actually,
it's certainly one that SkCz did experiment around with quite a bit when the hero was first being picked up in the metagame. And not to call you out too much, but Magnus does actually have his Portal Key now.
Oh, he does have it now. He didn't have it when I said it, though.
Yeah, he farmed up a quick 500 gold there at the end to finish it off.
And Kraken's nearing in his Portal Key as well, actually. So, I don't know, unless Legion can maybe get like a good start to the team fight, they could definitely be like one team fight, and then the golden XP is completely nullable pretty much. So, hopefully, should be okay if they can. I mean, they got invisible boulders here. They might be able to catch Shay off. They're going actually bottom lane. Ravenor might be in trouble. There's loads of TVs coming bottom lane.
Yeah, and the Kraken ultimate going to be going out and misses it. The Engineer Keg going to be missing as well. Well played or not, the Ravenor is still going to go down. Going to do a lot of counter damage and buy some space. Space created for the rest of his team, but not really worth it. Even though, I mean, he did force him to blow that Kraken ult.
Oh man, look at that one more combo coming out from Princey. That stat.
Yeah.
Only a 48% win percent when he's by himself, but with 71% when he's with other people. That is a massive stat, and that's the kind of thing. Like, yeah, they're kind of somewhat strong by themselves, but together they're almost unstoppable. So, understandable there. An interesting stat nonetheless.
And Magnus was looking to possibly send up there in the middle lane, but going to be falling back as it looks like the supports will be just continuing to rotate around the top. They really want to make sure to actually take some vision control in the enemy jungle, which is why you see this ward up here. Make sure that this Chronos is not going to be able to get any recovery farm, because outside of this Chronos, there's not a ton of sustain. It's a lot of burst damage. The Wombo combo potential is there, but in terms of actual sustained damage, there's just simply not. So if they keep this Chronos locked down, that would go a long way. But at the same time,
Chronos top lane.
Yeah, he's fine.
Should be fun.
Chronos is one of those heroes that doesn't really need that much farm. I mean, Quincy talked about it earlier. Coming from that suicide lane, he seems to do just fine, even with the most basic of items. And right now, he just finishes up the Elder Parasite, so gets a little bit tanky, and of course will do a lot more damage in those team fights.
Yeah, I mean, and they're only like 6,000 gold behind them. When it gets to the mid game, they are so far ahead in terms of team composition and team fight that although they might be down in terms of gold and XP, like they're still such a force to be reckoned with, and that's probably why we see Legion are quite sort of scared to take team fights, and as they should be. I mean, they have the lineup for really ganking and stuff, so there's no need to really try and force a team fight when your sort of drafting composition leans to a different way of play style. So I mean, they've got the Assassin's Shroud up on Puppet Master as well as the Portal Key on Bubbles. I'd like to see actually them two kind of combo together to look for pickoffs. I mean, I know Hellborn are kind of sticking together, but I mean, if you've picked up the Assassin's Shroud on Puppet Master, then you kind of need to utilize it. So I'd like to see a few kills coming out from him. Otherwise, it's not the biggest of deals, honestly, with this Assassin's Shroud.
Yeah, I agree with you right there. And right now, I'm looking at him picking up some kills on ogres. I like the skin Minimag at the alt avatar here for Puppet Master.
Ninja. He's like a ninja, isn't he?
He looks pretty cool, man.
Pretty badass. What's your favorite avatar?
My favorite, I think we talked about this before. It might,
we did, actually.
It might be the Troika Engineer skin.
Oh yeah, you just love Engineer. That's why
I do. I'm a big fan of Engineer. I
biased.
also really like the USA Engineer. That is another one of my favorites.
Oh, you Americans, man, just love it. It's so funny.
I don't know. There's a few other ones.
There's some pro ones. I like the new ones. The Ursa ones are super sick, actually. I was playing Plinko the other day, and I'm not even joking. I never, ever, ever win anything at Plinko. Like, I always get tickets, and then I played like the new Plinko with all the Ursas, and I got all of them.
Okay, so
it's sick.
I played it this morning when I logged on Han this morning, and I started out with 5,300 gold coins. So I spent 1,400 gold coins today. And I think I got like 7 avatars or something like that, including the Ursic one that I got from Plinko, and then I bought the other Ursa one for 400 gold. So I think I actually only spent 900 gold.
Top lane Master Bronze.
Yeah, MOA is dead. Your beard will not save you now, my friend. Although Magnus with the double stun right now, Bubbles is going to go down. Beautiful Plague Rider ultimate, and Plague going to be running directly into the engineer field, trying to save himself, saying you can't get me in here, but Ravner proves him wrong a little bit. And the Hellborn team could be retreating right there after a beautiful initiation, being punished by the Lightning God himself.
Yeah, but 2 for 1, especially on Bubbles. I mean, you're taking out the Initiate, and in the mid game, that's the most important hero, in my opinion. So, getting 2 for 1 is a good trade, but at the same time, they are getting quite outfound. They are really sticking together quite a lot, actually, something pretty more than I expected them to do. And I think Legion are playing it well in the sense that they are trying to split push. You see Puppet Master already in the bottom lane. You see Master of Arms using the goo, trying to defend as much as possible. But at the same time, I think Hellborn should try and capitalize actually on this. They've got actually they're going in bottom lane. They're going to maybe try and catch this Puppet Master, but he does have an Assassin's Shroud, so they're going to be it's going to be hard to try and take him out. But you see, actually, they could have maybe even initiated up there on the top lane. Puppet Master doesn't even have a TP, and if you're going in with the stronger team fight anyway, 5v4 is a trade you'd love to take. So they need to just sort of be a bit more wary on the map and see where all of the Legion heroes are to try and make the best team decisions as possible.
And right now they're just appearing to buy time for Ravner and Puppet Master, feeling like they've got the potential. If they can get the farm on those heroes, and if they're able to get shrunken heads up on those two, then I might agree. But at what point do you want to see the big yellow items coming out? Do they need one more item each, or what do you think, Mini Maggot?
Sorry, do you mean for Legion or Hellborn?
For Ravender and Puppet Master specifically, needing
Oh, okay.
heads.
I don't know. At the same time, like Ravenel's already picked up the light brand, so I don't know if he's going to go for the Dawnbringer before he goes to the Shrunken Head. But I mean, the Shrunken Head is just so needed in this game. Like, it nullifies Magnus, it nullifies like Engineer as well as Plague Rider. That nullifies like 3 of the enemy heroes. Like, if they pick up Shrunken Heads right now, like they can take team fights and almost win the game single-handedly, pretty much from that. And that's because honestly, Hellborn haven't really pushed their advantage in terms of team fighting. If they try to force team fights, then that would have been a lot better. But you do see Ravenel actually going for the Dawnbringer most likely because he's already picked up the Ice Brand, and I think Shrunken Head's most likely on the works for Puppet Master.
Up top, Bubbles is in a lot of trouble, but no, Kronos not going to be able to get the ultimate off in time. And I feel like actually Magnus using his portal key in right there was the cause. And what the hell was that sound?
I don't know. That was really, really weird. Oh, actually, top lane.
Yeah, Magnus is going to be able to get the stun off on 2. There's the Eruption going to be going off, as well as the Kraken ultimate. Ravender going to be coming on in, and Kronos, will he be able to get the Chrono Field off onto 2? It looks like he could have a golden opportunity right now, but he's not using it. He doesn't have the mana. He needs to swap the boots. He'll have mana if he swaps the boots. But there's the Kraken ultimate, actually. Kronos going to be rewinding so hard. The rewinds are gigantic. Kraken going to be trying to get away right now. And Kronos leaps out. Why isn't he changing his damn boots? Oh, the huge Forked Lightning coming out. And Puppet Master with the Shroud will be able to get one of these kills at least. Magnus is going to be coming in, being able to get the stun off on the Master of Arms. Should be able to get that eventually, but instead Puppet Master coming on in. There's a Ward of Revelation down for the opposing team.
Oh, he needs to pop a show there. That was the only way that Magnus was going to fall. Unfortunate play coming up from Puppet Master, but yeah, that Kronos just didn't want to swap his boots, man.
He was like 7 mana short, and he's like, I'm not swapping him. I'm not swapping him. I'm staying on Agi. He wasn't even on strength.
No, he needs the extra armor, man.
Oh, good lord. I mean, I don't want to flame too much, but Faker, I mean, if he has indeed named himself after the Korean god, often known as the best League of Legends player to have ever played the game, aka Faker, then well, that's plays that are not living up to the name.
Why do you even talk about League of Legends in this game, man? Like, it's just absolute noob game.
It's not talking about League of Legends. It's talking about other esports. Like
I can promote that.
I've never watched a game of Faker. Like I've never watched it.
Lightning speed.
Ooh, and Magnus is dead.
There's the dust. Yeah, he does go down.
Okay. I can promote esports.
Yeah, I've never watched a game that Faker has played in because I don't really watch Korean League of Legends, but I know who he is. I know why he's renowned. I listen to all the esports talk shows, man.
Damn. You are the man with the esports knowledge. You know everything. Like, you actually are like a little encyclopedia, just knowledge.
There you go.
You know everything. Google, Wikipedia. Perfect.
Gotta know a little
anyway,
bit
back to this
something.
game. I guess that's true. Legion actually really far ahead in terms of gold and XP though. 10,000 gold and 6,000 experience. Like I think they should really sort of start pushing this advantage. But at the same time, like they've got this advantage and they don't really have the items, in my opinion, to really even force anything. I mean, they've started to pick up the Dawnbringer in Ravenel, and it's something they just don't really need. That's more of a farming item. They need like the team firearms, which is the Shrunken Head. He does have, he doesn't have the Dawnbringer. He's closing on the Dawnbringer. Did Puppet Master go for the Shrunken Head? He's got like, no gold.
I did see a Shrunken Head purchased. It was not on the courier. So I would assume that's still in the base. Going to be delivered to him relatively soon here. So it sounds like that's a sound that Kronos makes.
Oh.
Maybe.
I'm going to follow him.
I don't know.
There's some weird noises.
It sounded like a Kronos sound. Middle lane, Magnus could be in some trouble if Bubbles actually goes in with the silence, and he is. Chain reaction is going to be there as well, but the backup is there. There's the Chrono Field finally coming out. Blackguard ultimate going to be going in, bouncing around, is going to be able to finish off Torture. Engineer going to be able to help get the kill onto Bubbles, although Defensive Master's Call is there. Kraken blinks into the trees. Going to be able to get the Torrent off to actually help get the kill, and the Kraken ultimate is going to be necessary right now, but he's not actually dropped it, and now he's running away after Plague Rider and Magnus have both fallen. And portal key away, Kraken is able to get out of there, but here comes Puppet Master, shrouded up, has the Shrunken Head available. Might be able to go for the one-shot onto Engineer. Gonna be able to get the puppet shot. Dodging the keg, and Kraken trying to get away with the charge. Eats a charged shot, that is. And does have to be forced backward. Kronos is regenerating in the well with no chrono field available. I doubt that Kraken's going to want to initiate, but he does pick up a mana potion. With no mana on these three heroes, he might be able to go for a use of his ultimate with Kronos there and actually go for a deny. Kronos is in. Questionable. Is it the bait? Oh, the double stun! The charge backward on Puppet Master. I don't know why he's not using his ultimate. The order of spells here is off. Puppet Master going to be trying to get away. The Eruption trying to finish off Ravener in the foreground, but it's going to be Magnus that's going down here. And now Kronos going to be taken out by Bubbles and Puppet. So the Hellborn teams is not playing up to the level that I would have expected to see out of the Tyrants. They've been a team that has had some serious presence in the last few weeks, but they're just not executing. Their mechanics are not up to par here against the guys like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and I mean, they've picked a lineup that honestly does really require quite a lot of coordination and sort of communication, and just making sure everyone's on the same sort of team synergy, and it just doesn't feel like they really have it. I mean, the perfect initiation would be from the Chrono, setting up with these Chrono field, even maybe a good Magma Stun or even a good Kraken ultimate as well, and then everything else can just be laid on top. And but just off the mark by a little bit in terms of who's going in when, and maybe the communication's off, but it's definitely sort of showing up now in the team fights. Because I mean, I think, you know, maybe the last couple of team fights they could definitely have took them if the coordination, the communication was good enough in terms of the spells landing perfectly. But as a result, Legion are taking a head. Yeah,
I mean, no Chrono Field used in the top lane, no Kraken ultimate used there. Magnus got a two-man stun, and Kraken decided to charge someone instead of using his ultimate. Like, that's just not the way you want to do it, probably. So, in any case, the Hellborn team has already thrown up the vote to concede. Did not pass, so perhaps some of the team thinking it's possible. Magnus going to be able to get silenced right here, and down goes Gleoper. And Samuel L. Jackson calling out right there that the Legion team is pretty well ahead. Yeah, pretty well ahead.
I actually love that announce pack. It's the best one by far.
It is pretty fantastic.
I just can't believe it happened. When I found out that actually he did like a commentary like pack, I was just like, what? I was so surprised, but it was so sick at the same time. So cool. But yeah, I think the only way actually Hellborn can really get back into this game is if they just do some kind of crazy, and the perfect Wombo combo just fulfills in every sort of degree. But I mean, from what we've seen in past experience, the Wombo combo is just a little bit off. And then if you're running these kind of combinations, then the main important thing is that, you know, the perfect coordination, and it just doesn't seem that the team has it. So unless a miracle happens, then it's looking very, very bad for them.
Well, the miracle on ice is still a possibility here for the guys of the Tyrants, but they're going to need something to happen, and something to happen relatively soon as more and more items are coming out. Again, Jiro just finished up here on Puppet Master. The Dawnbringer, in addition to an Abyssal Skull, just finished up here on Ravener. Bubbles saving up 2k gold. You got push stick number 1 already here on MOA of Arms, and another one on the works from Torture. So these guys are starting to get very big, and of course level 19 on Puppet. Like, he's got the raw stats, he's got the points in his skills, and Ravener on the front line able to easily take down this defensive tower, and even gets a ball lightning onto Magnus, down to 50% life. The goo is going to be going in. Magnus has to stun away. Chrono's going to be able to get a two-man Chrono field. There's the ultimate going to be coming out on a Torturer, going to be pushed inside of the energy field here. And are they even able to finish Torturer? No, Torturer is able to pack out right there. Ravener and Puppet Master are going ham. A rage quit coming in from Faker, and that's going to do it.
He's done.
That's it.
He's done, man. GG.
Quincy's dropping a final stat for us right there. And he's saying that gold is good.
Gold is good.
Gold is good. Evidently.
What was the actual stat?
Evidently, I think it was something to the effect of teams with carry heroes of above 450 GPM do better and have like an 86% win rate or something.
It would have been the funniest stat if he said teams with the most gold normally win. That would be the funniest.
I mean, well, there are cases in which that is not true. Like,
I guess that very, very, very rare
but
cases.
very, very rarely. In any case, that is not going to be what's happening here. Team Cheesecake, a.k.a. Donkey Kong, going to be walking away with the 2-0 victory over the Tyrants. The Tyrants going to be finishing